February 8th, 2024. It's about midnight. On the 7th yesterday. I had worked. I came home and I took a nap. And then when my boyfriend got home from his farm, we went out to Circle Restaurant in Deerfield. Go in and sit down. Some guys off in the distance. Will said she's weird with herself. Are you fucking kidding me? I hate crackheads. Was photoshopping or showering. Confessed several times. Made fun of the FBI, made fun of everyone for falling for it. Tired of your shit. Okay? We're sitting there eating. A group of people come in and sit behind us. Okay? U.S. Marshals, you need to listen to this one. My phone's bugged, you should be able to pick it up. They're sitting behind me. And I start rambling about stuff to my boyfriend. Okay? They said, Will promised all of them that no one would get prosecuted, no matter what. They could do whatever they wanted. He won't stop them. Agent John, you got a problem that you're in it with drug cartel? You want them to kill women and children? Told him you wouldn't prosecute them no matter what. Got a problem here. Okay? And one of them said they made a big mistake. They roofied one of the Marshall's kids twice. The one I met at the storage unit was moving out of the area for safety. They said they knew she was a U.S. Marshals kid. And they couldn't resist playing with her and doing it to her. Or doing it to her, that's how they said it. Doing it to her. Because they knew she was a Marshals kid. They couldn't resist. So it wasn't that where she told me that her boyfriend came home of 8 years while she was asleep, punched her in the face, broke her nose. Okay? She called 911, he was arrested. She found out he'd been cheating on her for 2 years, had left a strip club, came home, punched her in her face in her sleep. Got away with a fine. And since then, she found out he had left a strip club, been cheating on her for 2 years. Had nothing to do with the strip club. What happens next? Oh, your daughter, one of the Marshals kids, was targeted by the drug cartel because she was a U.S. Marshals kid. They did it because she's one of your children. Okay? She says since we broke up, I went to Jersey's. I took a drink in the room with Dizzy and Black. I don't know what happened to me that night. I said, we're sleepwalking with those amnesia drugs. I know that. Said I waited a while. Went to another bar, it happened again. Said I'm moving out of this area for safety. Oh, they're after her. You might want to, wherever she's staying, have somebody keep an eye on her. She's a young blonde girl. That's what they're looking for to sell and kill. They're already playing with her. They usually don't give up on things they play with. They're doing it to spite you. Because you're law enforcement. It's like they said. They did a stupid mistake. They roofied a Marshals kid twice. Well, they knew she was a Marshals kid. That's why they did it. Wasn't that her boyfriend left a strip club, and the strip club was having a drug dealer story? Drug dealers did it because she was a U.S. Marshal's kid. The U.S. Marshals have been arresting these people. Will promised us that no matter what we did here, nobody get prosecuted. And the U.S. Marshals said they didn't care. So, Agent John, what is your problem with helping serial killers kill people? And promising that they won't get prosecuted no matter what. And U.S. Marshals, that thing they did to your kid, they did it on purpose to get even with you. Keep an eye on her. I'm serious. People they play with, they don't give up on. And she's what they're looking for, a young blonde girl. Yeah. Watch her a long time so she don't disappear and end up in a mass grave. I'm not joking. We all know better what these people are. They're serial killers. So, Agent John, what is your problem with helping the Florida human traffickers that they won't get prosecuted? Do you know before the U.S. Marshals showed up, 30 kids were missing a week, 45, another 20, another 10, here and there. They were raping Ohio of women and children. And Agent John told him he wouldn't prosecute them. But the Marshals don't care. So, Agent John, why are you a serial killer? And why are you helping them? I'd like to know. Where even Michelle, oh, by the way, U.S. Marshals, it was probably Michelle, Judge Peter's daughter from Florida, that's up here in Ohio. The one that thinks she's going to become drug lord over the Canton area. The Ohio Mafia probably will have a say in that. They would never give up their territory to something like her. Where she's telling all the drug dealers she's taking over. It's going to, be bad. She told that anybody, she was Judge Peter's daughter and she was above the law. She could do any crime she wanted and no one could stop her. Told people at Faith Family Church that. Now, why does a human trafficker's kid that got her father arrested so she could take over the drug cartel from Florida, the human traffickers that were coming up here to sell people, and they were grabbing people and selling them. Where they, for we all work for the king from Texas, we are his men, Dave hired us, he's a drug lord. The Texas group, if you look up Judge Peter's arrest, where we're drug traders and human traffickers from Florida. We're relocating people to Florida to a resort area. We work for Judge Peter. Look up his arrest. Judge Peters from Florida was arrested connected to Disney. They had a pipeline. They were selling people between Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. Gotta listen to what they say when they get around to rats and everything on. Now, his daughter's up here ratting out, like they said, in January. That middle branch in North Canton at Speedway, that Michelle had everybody show up, say who they were for what they were doing here to get her father arrested so she could take over the cartel. Now she thinks she's taking over Ohio. Psycho. Where on earth, why would you think you could tell a drug cartel they could do whatever they want? And thousands got human trafficked. Over 1,000 people are still missing. Why did it take the U.S. Marshals to show up? Why? See, then you gotta think where I called the hotline. They drugged me up so bad. I can't answer the phone. Phone's ringing. Rivers of tears were running down my face. I kept saying, I don't know why I said that. Woke up later. I was doubled up to the point I couldn't even stand up, holding onto the wall. I'm leaning on the wall. Got to the bathroom, got to the refrigerator, got back in bed. Listen, this is Agent. Call me back. I can't fall back to sleep. Second day, not much better. Third day, made myself get up. Enough air, call the witness. Hmm? Said she witnessed, went out and bought a card, put that agent's voicemail, a number from the voicemail, and that card, dropped it off, went up to Apostolic Church of Brockton. And you were up there telling them where Pamer was yelling at Dave. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk up. How dare you bring the FBI up here with what's on it? Women walk up, you know she's being drugged, being raped, and he said he didn't care. Since when did the cops not care women are being drugged, being raped? Go in and sit down. He said she's being drugged, being raped, and he said he didn't care. She's going to be faking her sick. That was Stranger's lie to cover up Tim and Katie. 15-year-old lie. Wasn't even a new lie. It was a 15-year-old lie. A baby's maybe lie. And if she was going to be mean to women, he was going to turn her back over to him. You told him you were going to defraud me before you even talked to me. Dave comes in, let's go, threatens my life, goes for gun. I put my hand on the council. I got punched all the way home because of you. Run from it. Next morning, I call you. I tell you somebody on a recorded line. Someone told on me. You liar. I tell you about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. You call me a liar. Start screaming about a camera above the bench. I said, well, you tried to kidnap me before. Oh, come on now. Even if a church person seen him, they won't verify it. That's why I didn't tell you about Terry Cobley. I met with that family in my office and all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because the strangers lied to faking you're sick, a 15-year-old lie. Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. So, by federal law, what were you supposed to do? Arrest them. Not obstruct justice. Tamper with the witness. Not aiding, abetting, killing people. Or put your approval on drug traders, drug beating, raping people. Right? You just confessed you told on me. Okay? I said, look, I really was sick before, and then screamed about a camera. Eventually, either saying, I'll arrest you. It's like, fine, whatever. Now I want you to say you're faking sick. Well, that's ridiculous. I almost died from medical malpractice. Medication errors. I said, I really was sick before, you liar. I met with that family in my office, all their church people. I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well. That family was screaming. It's like, look, I really was sick before. He's like, he said, you need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame him for trying to kill you. Record a line that you're approving of conspiracy to commit murder and aiding and abetting it. So, why are you aiding and abetting conspiracy to commit murder, rape, and human trafficking someone? Why are you helping the drug cartel kill women and children? Human trafficking. And helping a cult get away with murder. Pull the recorder line. U.S. Marshals, you need to arrest him. Somebody does, the sheriffs. You confessed. Again, you told on me. They already knew. Because you told before you talked to me. It's documented by the police. October, November 22 in Trinity Gospel. Karen's okay anymore. We found the protected custody case. Oh, if you go to Stark County Courthouse, between October 23rd, 2018 and October 3rd of 2018, there's a protected custody case. Threat of life. Attempt to life. For an FBI informant with money and immunity. Court-ordered by a judge. And like my friend from the prosecutor's office, it can't be closed till the FBI puts in another witness protection program. That agent doesn't even have enough authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. I said, but he already confessed, he told. He can't tell on you, but due to the freedom of speech, it takes a judge to tell you you can't say anything. He can't bully you into false statements. He can't make up his own rules. They're set guidelines, and it's for risking your life to get them information, and only for risking your life. They owe you for the rest of your life for risking your life to get the government information. And until the FBI puts you in another witness protection program, you'll stay informant for life. You get the money for the rest of your life for risking your life to get them information. And the government owes you. And that agent can't make up restrictions that they don't have authority, because due to the freedom of speech, it takes a judge to put a gag order on you. And no judge could sign it. It's set guidelines. It's for risking your life to get them information. Informants are different. You stay yourself. You feed them information. Tell however you want. He's only hired a police officer. You don't even have authority to say that. I was only bullying you. Now, police know that, and they can't go along with any of it. He cannot tell anybody they can't help you. It's illegal. It's the 14th Amendment, actually. Cannot withhold protection from any U.S. citizen. Cannot seize somebody's money, but due process of the law. Can't just steal. Okay. Criminal attorney told me the same thing, and police. So, then he's just confessed he told on me. Like they said at Trinity Gospel. We found the protected custody case. Kieran's okay anymore. Okay? But who are you? The sheriff's working. And I got a client sitting next to me, and I'm like whinging. And they said, well, the agent that returned her phone call from the hotline, it was documented and verified. It was him telling on her at that church where he spoke to her. Oh, my Lord. He walked out. Get my client home. Turns on FBI files. Protected custody cases. Looks at me like the Grinch that stole Christmas. Karen, do you have a part of one of those? So that's a personal question. He laughed at me. Okay. Alright. And then that agent on a recorded line, like I said, if you listen to a recorded line, you almost fall out of your chair. He actually talks to her this way. He said, I want you to say you're faking you were sick. I almost died from medical malpractice. And it took me 9 months to get well. I said, look, I really was sick. You liar. I met with that family in my office and all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because of Strange's baby lie to cover up Tim and Katie. Thinking you were sick. I said, look, I really was sick. You need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He's aiding and abetting conspiracy and attempted murder and killing people. Own confession. Learn to take your own advice. I'm meant to know what I'm doing. Okay. And I said I really was sick before you said I'll leave there, but they'll kill me sound. They'll try to kill me sound. You said I'll leave there. It's like, fine, just don't let them kill me. Ha 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 ha. My house manager, Marlisa's niece, was taken by that guy on Christmas Day of 2018. She's dead because of you. And all those other people. There's still over 1,000 people missing from Ohio. I don't find you funny. My co-worker's family member was taken from the same people. And there was a reward out for his arrest in his description. Okay? And information leading to his arrest. You let a serial killer go. The Florida human traffickers. Why are you helping the Florida drug cartel get away with murder in Ohio? You got a lot of explaining to do. Then he's like, give me a real reason why the FBI should help you. I said, well, they're going to try to kill me, so. You don't care if people are being killed. He's a criminal. And the other agent yells out the drug dealer's name, where Dave hired Pete on his own, and it was Pete and his men in my home before. The rapist, the human trafficker that he hired on his own to drug me for fake confessions and Photoshop washing. Okay? I've never met my rapist. I've never seen or talked to anybody for the FBI. You want to talk about scary movie shit of sexual predators preying on somebody in their home? It's a drug scam from the drug dealers that are human trafficking people. Okay? He said we could use Pete's tape or wear it with herself. It's a shower scene. Now, I want you to think of this scenario. It's a drug deal. Everybody knows everything's Photoshoppable. You can put your head on somebody else's body, change your hair color, your eye color, put glasses on, change your clothes, switch the scenery. It's clicking and pasting. You have the right app, the right technology, just swing through it. Jim, my neighbor, his son edits movies for a living, gets the app on his phone. He does it on his phone. So it's super simple. Okay? You take words out of sentences, other sentences, tape it over, and make it look like you said something you didn't. And date, rape, amnesia, drugs, or sleepwalking, like Mike, my neighbor. They reviewed him. He told everybody he was an astronaut and tried to tell me he was a New York cop. He was thrown out of his mind. That's what they were doing to me. Take a drink in the room, go dizzy and black. That's what they did to Marshall's kid. That's what they did to my coworker Dawn. She was taken and raped. She don't remember meeting him. It's not funny the cartel's playing with people like this. Okay? These people are actually violating people in their homes. Okay? He's talking about my rapists, like teenagers. These people sold the login. M13 is hacking protected custody cases, selling live streaming on the internet. Okay? They said Will was actually, that means Agent John was selling the login for $25 a pop. Make more money with the case. He sells government technology too. The one to give it to the M13? Wouldn't be the first agent that sold technology. Stole from cases either. He made fun of the guy Dave hired on his own hitman to drug his wife for fake confession, have her beat and raped. Photoshop washing. I've heard in the other room. Because you gotta think. I mean, even think of the scenario. You're standing in a different room, act like you're washing yourself. It would be a 911 call. Somebody's digested something, they're delusional. They've hit their head and they're delusional. It's a 911 call. People even realized that last year it would have been a 911 call. Somebody doing that in the middle of the room, another room, that would be a 911 call. That's why they made fun of FBI agent John June 7th, 23, how they made a big fool out of him, mocked him publicly in Walmart 62, sold videos of how big a fool he is. Okay? I said, what are you talking about? And I actually thought, why are you lying on my brother? The only Pete I know is my brother Medina. I talked to him on the phone, but I hadn't seen him in years. So it's like, why are you lying on him? See, I've never met my rapist. Like teenagers in North Canton, the FBI made fun of her for being drugged, being raped. The FBI made fun of her for being human trafficked, and they were using amnesia drugs. And she wasn't realizing everything that was happening to her. And they need to take care of those idiots for laughing at her. I said, what are you talking about? I have never even met this man. I thought it was a dirty well water giving me cancer. Showering in it. Kept telling the doctor that. And he said something else about Pete. I've never met him. Okay? And then he said, well, I bet you're going to say you didn't know anything about this doctor selling information. They can't sell information. They can't even talk about you without your permission, not to your spouse, not to anybody. Sure as hell can't talk to a cult leader. Or anybody else. HIPAA violations, 1 to 5 years. $250,000 fine. You sell for $1.5 million. It's another drug scam. Well, I had some lady use my insurance for 15 years. And more likely it was my ex-husband, one of his girlfriends, that he just married me for a scam so he could get a factory job because it paid big money back then. He was only making $80 a week. And Tim would brag he'd make $500 to $1,000 a week. And it was his way out of poverty. And then that girl that was using my insurance, I found out she was a heavyset white woman. That's the way some of them described her, and she had 2 little girls. It's not funny, 2 women showed up and said they were Dave's illegitimate daughters, and that's either. And half my medical bills are hers. I thought maybe it was one of hers. I argued with hospitals, stays. Dave argued with the factory, and they said there's no way that lady would have got my insurance if he wouldn't give it to her. She even used my prescription card. Found out that one too. And he kept saying, Karen, I'm with you, but when I'm at work, these people are just causing trouble. No, they weren't. I kept telling my brother, get me evidence, and I'd leave him. Well, he didn't. And more likely, he had her before the marriage, and I was just a big scam to get out of poverty. That's why she was using my insurance within a year of my marriage. And then for 15 years went Harry-Carry with it, leaving me with tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars worth of bills, of copays. That's how not funny it is. Okay. My mom knew of her, my brother knew of her, every union rep in the committee, because we were fighting them. And Kay threatened the secretary for Midwest Rubber that she would put him in jail for insurance fraud and identity fraud. They didn't pay those copays. And he kept saying, Karen, it has to be some crazy woman got your ID. No, it was probably his crazy girlfriend. Okay? I said, what are you talking about? I thought, well, maybe it's one of hers. No, it's just a scam. Okay, and he's laughing at me. Stop, you don't know. Give me a reason. Tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig, that died working for the government. He said, first of all, have you talked to any law enforcement about the threats on your life? I said, the only 2 officers I talked to, August 8 of 18, came out with a light in the security system, told me it looked like an alien orb and an angry spirit, then told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bother. You're kidding, right? I said, matter of fact, I've never even had my neighbors in my home. I've only had repair guys and installation guys. Is that what's going on? He said, do you know if Dave has a girlfriend? I've never caught him. There's been rumors, but I've never caught him. Starts laughing, tells the other agent that was laughing at me. She says she never caught him. Well, dumbass. I taped Dave December 9th, 18. I've never caught him. He confirmed it. Why is that funny? Because it's not. I've never caught him. Okay? Then he said, well, I could take you somewhere and leave you with no money. I have no money to start. Then he said, well, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, Okay, he's already confessed he talked to the churches, he talked to the Vegas. He's talked to Dave's drug dealer hitman running a drug scam on me on his own. Did he arrest him by federal law? Well, were they to be arrested? Hell yeah. Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. Attempted murder. Cyber stalking with button cameras. Photoshopping washing scenes. Drugged confessions. Racketeering. RICO charges. These people admitted they were taping in the bathroom with shower scene. They even admitted they sold my grandkids on kiddie porn sites. They should have had life in federal the first day by federal law. FBI agent John in Canton, Ohio, broke federal laws. Laughing at a rape victim that the drug cartel was running a drug scam on. And a cult trying to kill him for a made-up baby lie. Like they said, you need to get your facts straight before you put your name on it. September 18th, 24. Forest Grove Drive in Akron. Next to my clients. That agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything that was a medication or made her sick before. Why'd they wait 15 years? Oh, strange ordered it in 03. I went over and talked to him. They told me. When he thought she was falling Tim Katie, he ordered her to be killed. They were to try to have her killed, and if that didn't work, to have her destroyed. Nobody was to say or do a thing until Dave said he wanted a divorce, and it took Dave 15 years to say it. They planned this for 15 years before they did it. Get your facts straight. Okay? Alright. We're gonna go forward. Now, he's already confessed he talked to everyone. Right? Confessed. Hold on me. The night before, he was seen at Pamers by even Officer John, other police, and undercover police, telling on me, and hundreds of people. Dave told people when I walked off, he talked to that agent. He was even seen meeting with Dave. Now, everybody knows I called the FBI. Cat's out of the bag. He already confessed that. Right? And he's the one telling them. Right? Yep. He said, well, if you agree to get information on Dave at church, I can open an informant program. Comes with $5,000 a month. I said, well, I could do that. I'm already confessing to 3 people in the mall. I figured it'd take a couple weeks and they'll all go to jail. He told them he was going to defraud me. Yeah. But he opened a case under fraud. Stole the money from the case. Fed me back to the cartel. Told the cartel, apparently, they could do whatever they want and they wouldn't get prosecuted. And it took the U.S. Marshals to do his damn job and clean up his shit. Okay? For you'll have a life of peace as an informant. A life of peace as an informant. Fight for peace every day. Life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you. And only for you would we do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. That way you can't be legally charged and you can't be legally charged again for anything for working this case. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. I open an account with the $5,000 on it. When do you know if you can pick it up? I don't know. Well, how work was? A little busy. It left me in hell. Admit to no wrongdoing and I'll take care of everything in the end. Okay? But if you try to tell someone, the FBI won't help you. And I'll list you crazy. My friend from the Stark County Prosecutor's Office laughed. Oh, he even told me his best friend was the chief of police of Canton, that he was a really good man, and I could always trust him. And the Canton police would make sure that I was always protected. Okay? If I couldn't get a hold of him, I could go to him, because he was a very, very good man. Okay? My friend from the Stark County Prosecutor's Office, okay, met with him at McDonald's on Harmont one evening. We're sitting there talking. He said, "You told me what that agent said to you." He said about the chief of police of Canton being his best friend. He was a very good man. And the one in 2018 was a very good man. He said, "I will let you." And when I told him what that agent said to me, he laughed till he had tears. He said, "First of all, the police know they can't go along with anything but listing your informant with money and immunity. You get the money for working the case and for only working the case. He can't make up restrictions that he don't have authority to. Due to the freedom of speech, it takes a judge to put a gag order on you." I said, "But he already confessed he told everyone." And he said, "He can't tell on you, but because of the freedom of speech, you can tell whoever you want. And he can't say a word. No judge could sign that. Because of the First Amendment. And there's guidelines. It's for risking your life to get them information. Informants are different. You stay yourself. You feed them the information. You tell whoever you want. They can't say a word. And they owe you for the rest of your life for risking your life to get them information. You stay in immunity the rest of your life." He said, "Karen, the way that agent set it up, it's a threat of life with attempt to life case. And until the FBI puts you in another witness protection program, you'll stay an informant for life. You'll be in immunity for life and get paid. He cannot withhold money. He cannot misdirect it. He can't tell people they can't help you. That's a 14th Amendment. First Amendment, freedom of speech, it takes a judge to put a gag order on you." Like my friend from the prosecutor's office, he's only hired a police officer. He can't even say that to you. He's only bullying you so they get away with it. He said, and the only thing legal he did, and he can't bully you into false statements under threats. The police know they can't go along with any of that. And I looked out the window, and 10 to 15 or more Canton police officers were parading around that McDonald's. It was amazing as he was talking. And they know they can't go along with it. Only thing they can go along with is that the money and the immunity for the FBI case. They can't be closed until the FBI puts you in another witness protection program. You don't realize you're in one of them. And you can't get out the rest of your life. These people try to kill you. They could wait and try to kill you again. Okay? And he can't make up his own rules. And no judge could sign it. He was only bullying. The police know he was only bullying. Talk to a criminal attorney and police. He was only bullying me. He's been bullshitting everyone. Well, he stole it in front of everyone. Okay? And then you got to think, he's already confessed. He told everyone, talked to everyone, told everyone I called FBI. The cat was out of the bag. Then within the first month to 6 weeks, Will came up with another way of making money off the case. He's selling the login for $25 a pop. It went viral. I was at discussion in high school 2 years ago at North Canton. We discussed the case with our teacher. All those bad things happened to her because that agent didn't help her. Teenage girls, North Canton. The FBI made fun of her for being drug being raped. The FBI made fun of her for being human trafficked. They need to take care of those two idiots for laughing at her. Other children. The FBI betrayed her. Other children. The FBI let her live through all that and didn't even pay her. None of this is funny. No, it's not. when cops become criminals. It makes the good ones look bad. And they never remember the good ones. They only remember the ones that become criminals. It's not fair. So, U.S. Marshals, a lot of Michelle's group goes to Faith Family Church. They'll know exactly who she is. The sheriff should know where she's at. It's a Florida drug cartel. There is an order from the president, anybody known to be a part of a main drug cartel, that you're to arrest them. You need to start being like the U.S. Marshals. You don't care what he says. He's a criminal. You need to arrest him for aiding and abetting these crimes. He was not the first FBI agent that stole from cases or sold technology. You just got one in your backyard. And he's aiding and abetting serial killing of women and children in the Florida drug cartel. That's who was in my home. For Dave hired Pete on his own. See, these people in 21, the tapes before are so altered. March 13, 21, they told the nurse at Mercy Medical the only thing they had on you was adjusting yourself. The guy said that 6 said no, she simply wiped off water with clothes on. He said that 6 said no, she just brushed it off. A simple action. January of 22, they said a group of ladies came from Portage County. We made a big mistake being at home. She's never said she did anything wrong before. When she simply wiped off the water with clothes on, she went straight down, didn't expose herself. As if anybody would ever care about that. And those people raped her. Okay? And then they go into confessing. They put clips together, made it a porn. Da-da-da. It's a shower scene. Ha ha ha. She figured out what they did. That Pete ordered everything to be drugged, photoshopped, made up on me. Told more than 10 people. Laughed at the FBI. Laughed at everyone for drugs and told to say it. From the first of the case to photoshopping feminine wipes above the toilet. Okay? Well, in 21, up to 21, everybody, a lot of them had the no wrongdoing and no wrong saying. Okay? Then people started showing up with, well, I got one where she's naked in the other room. Looks like she's shot. Da 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 da. It made my stomach bleed. Then another idiot said, well, she was doing that with clothes on in mine. And then they got the Druxen told to say weirdo stuff. Druxen told to say this. Where they said they photoshopped everything in and out. In 21, there was like 3 or 4 versions. Like a lady investigator said, I never want to hear anything of a tape before again. There are so many versions of them, it's not even funny. You listen to people talk, they don't even have the same video. Even in Louisville, people would look at me, investigators. You didn't expose yourself, you're good. Just simply wiped off water with clothes on, just brushed it off. A simple action, everybody would do that. Expose something on yourself. Where they told Ed at the Oakland apartment December 9, 21, all the tapes before were them and not me, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here, see if someone will stop them. Same day, white man Bob with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. They always knew the tapes before were them and not me, so they never said a word. To my client Navarre in February, March of 22, that Peter ordered everything drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. To March 1st or 3rd of 21, they put 2 clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's him. Then after just brushing off water with clothes on, they made up this big scenario. Never happened, made my stomach bleed. mocking me. And I thought, well, then they put my head on somebody else's body. Then I got to thinking, what would you be doing? It sounds like you undressed and got in the shower. It sounds like you're washing yourself. Ha 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 ha. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, and May 26th, 22 at noon. Minute of framing me, March 24th, 22. 2 drugs and total stay up from 18 on. Erased some guy named Chris out of the room. Never had a Chris in my house. They talked about him a lot. They said he was one of the main people hurting me. You need to get him. He's violating women in their homes. About a week ago, outside my clients, must have been Officer John. She calls me little but wiry. That means badass, honey. The smaller guy, white with black hair and glasses, January 12th, 22, where those kids get caught stating, got in 2 big drug dealers' faces. They made everything up. They could have ripped you apart, and you didn't back down. That's badass. I was there when Agent John told on her. Thought it was after he talked to her. No, it was before. I witnessed him telling on her. At that church, I was there. I know you were. I seen you. I actually thought you were the agent telling on me when I walked off, because I seen you later during the case. It took me a while to realize you weren't him. I seen you in that church. I'm going to go ahead and upload this, but yeah, someone does need to arrest him. He told the cartel they could do whatever crimes, and he'd make sure that nobody got prosecuted for it. He could not be aiding and abetting a human trafficking, a drug cartel. He cannot allow them to get away with crimes. It's illegal. That's where that Michelle said, I'm Judge Peter's daughter. I can have anybody drugged, being raped. I can commit any crime that I want, and no one can stop me. Because Agent John told them he'd make sure nobody got prosecuted. They were breaking that today. You're not that powerful. Maybe that cropped, but you're not that powerful. In January of 19, they came up to me. Remember the truth. They try to implant lies. They try to steal everything you have in life. The agent is so corrupt, he'll try to steal your money. He's actually that corrupt. See, they would say stuff, and then they do it. And then they would mumble out stuff, and then you had to figure out what they were doing or what they were talking about, and they laid it out. March 1st of 15 of 19. They called Dave in a legally bugged house while I was sitting on the back porch. What's going on? It's a real life case of how to get away with murder. She'll realize it. When you realize they're just killing people, and where you realize all these people are disappearing, they're finding mass graves of beheaded bodies, severed arms and legs. They're taking these people and selling them for people to butcher. You know, everybody got in an uproar, which they should, over Hamas attacking Israel and doing this to their women and children. The drug cartel and human traffickers did this to the United States on a grander scale. And because it wasn't individuals, families of different people weren't horrified because it didn't affect them. There was 30 kids missing from one area, 45 in 2 weeks, 20 over here, 10. Another person missing here. And Ohio was being raped of its women and children. People didn't care because it didn't happen to them. Where everybody should have been outraged and furious and screaming and been on the phone with the Department of Justice, emailing everybody. This is insane. Get people down here. Get these people stopped. So you're not next. But people didn't care. And where this drug cartel, where they said Will's making it up to us today, and they throw out a little bit of money, don't say anything. These people would take it. It's blood money. Where do they get the money from? They sold women and children for sex slaves and be murdered. It's blood money they made off of selling and killing people like cattle. People realized it a year ago, and he said, you tell that guy that's passing out money, we don't want blood money off of dead women and children. They're Jeffrey Dahmers. Jeffrey Dahmer, what was it, like 17 teenage boys, raped them, cut them up? These people are on a mega grand scale of serial killing. On scary movie level shit. And what they did was like scary movies. Sexual predators kicking my door in the wall while I'm out, setting up button cameras, stalking me. Illegal monitoring is a federal crime, cyber stalking. It's a felony invasion of privacy. The Fourth Amendment requires a court order that can only be police or agents. And it has to have a court order. It can only be for threat of life with statements. To actually watch you in your home because of the right to remain quiet, a right to an attorney, and the right to privacy. You can't hire a drug dealer to run a drug scam. Like the prosecutor's office said, it's a fraud scam. They did the biggest mistake they did at your home. Where you had all the signs of being drugged, being raped. Didn't see or talk to somebody, they probably did drug you up until you say something stupid. We all know you're sleepwalking. Like my neighbor, Mike, where they roofied him. He told people he was an astronaut. Tried to tell me he was a New York cop. He was stoned out of his mind. That's what they did to Marshall's kid. They did to my coworker, Dar. She was taken and raped. She don't remember meeting the people either. They're amnesia drugs. These people are violating people in their homes. Like you said, in photoshopping seeing her washing herself, and where they laugh at you in front of people in stores they did it. Oh, yeah, they confessed in front of the cops. And they had drugged me and told me to say it before. Made everything up on me. Made fun of people for falling for it. Made fun of the FBI for falling for it. It was a drug scam from the drug dealers that were human trafficking people. That's who was in my home before the drug cartel. It's documented, unframed, in drug cartel tapes done by the drug cartel. Okay? It's a fraud scheme. Okay? Everybody go online and report this. Because the cartel is breaking that Agent John said no matter what crime that they did, he'd make sure nobody got prosecuted. The U.S. Marshals said they didn't care. Aiding and abetting murder, conspiracy to commit murder, human trafficking. There's so many crimes. RICO charges, racketeering, setting up button cameras to cyber stalking, felony invasion of privacy, drug confessions to fake sodium pentothal reports. Amnesia drugs, drugging somebody up and telling them to say something stupid. It's racketeering. And then these people admitted selling me on porn sites, my grandkids on kiddie porn sites I use in the bathroom. Those are federal crimes. There was nothing to laugh at. A victim being drugged, being raped by the cartel, hired by an occult, making up pathetic reasons to kill someone. My one old house manager, her husband is a very nice man. When you talk to him, okay? As a young man, he's still living at home, came home, found his sister laid on the floor naked. raped. The idiot took a knife and cut up her private area. Sliced her. Stabbed her several times, bleeding out on the floor, dying breath. She tells him who did it. He runs out in a fit of horror. He knows him. He found him and he beat him to death. He went to jail. He killed his sister's killer in a fit of horror. 21 years. To me, that's a mental snap. 5 to 10. Counseling meds. Because he mentally snapped. He had to go to jail because he's not God, judge, and jury. He can't take the law into his own hands. But 21 years was excessive for a mental snap and a mental horror. These people are just making up baby shit. And he's been letting the cartel that they hired get away with murder here. And aiding and abetting it in human trafficking. And he's stealing government funds from victims. Telling on victims, calling for help. See, that's where Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin, he wanted to know if our police were slow. Why didn't they arrest that agent the first day? For telling on you, talking to you like that, and then stealing your money. They know that. He can't do any of that. He's so arrogant with you, Karen. He's got away with stealing from the government before, and now he's doing it in front of people and daring your local police to do something about it. He's not even afraid of them. He's not afraid of anybody. He doesn't think he's stoppable. Like Ed said, it's a group of men doing as many crimes as they can to see if someone will stop them. And U.S. Marshals, if you want the idiots that roofied one of your daughters, she's very nice. She helped me find my storage unit. That's how we got to talking. You make sure somebody keeps an eye on her for a very long time. They don't let people go they play with. And she's what they're looking for, young, blonde, and thin, to sell. And make sure they don't show up where she's at with the drugs and told to say so, or photoshopped or something. Seriously. If you listen to Sheriff Grady and the Florida Sheriff's Department, the Florida drug cartel runs scams on people. He said, and when law enforcement realizes they're being scammed, the victims that originally came for help are too afraid of law enforcement, and they actually have to go in and rescue them because they're too afraid. They will have up to 100 people watching 14 people at one time to make sure law enforcement don't help them. This is what Florida does. I have seen a Texas plate today, and I've seen Texas and Florida around me. They are still here. But if you want the people from Michelle and her group, go to Faith Family Church. They'll give them up to you. Sheriff should know who they are too. Need to get her. She keeps pronouncing that she's drug lord over this area. The Ohio Mafia will probably get involved. That's going to be a really bad scenario. Because they're not giving up Ohio to her. See, that's one thing. The Ohio, okay, every place has mafias. Ohio Mafia, if you're not dealing with them, they leave you alone. You're a good person, they leave you alone. Unless you're doing dirty deeds with them or business from them, they leave you alone. These people came in. Oh, another thing. My phone is bugged. January 6, 23. I went up to Jack's Casino. I made sure that I'd only lose $20. Okay? The person I was with was sitting there gambling, bored. I'm off walking around. Okay? There's a 6-foot African American guy, about 300 pounds, has his back to me on the phone. We all know Karen's will is blocking prosecution for all these people. Do we have someone to take care of this? Do you know what happened in January of 23? There's drive-by shooting. Killed a bunch of people in Florida right after that. Said it was a drug war between Florida and Ohio. Even the mafia knows Agent John is blocking prosecution for the drug cartel here. If you forget, before the marshals showed up, 45 children, 2 weeks, 30. Women disappearing. Here, there. It wasn't even safe to go to the mall. Wasn't safe to go to Walmart either. They would put twist ties on people's store handles. Go to take it off, they try to grab you. So Walmart hires security to drive around all the time. They went somewhere else. Wasn't safe to go to stores. Marshals came in January 20th, 23. Showed up in Worcester. They were going to use the case. My friend Maddie showed up. I got a friend in the police department. Knew about that case that agent opened with you. Knew about the Texas group. Oh, U.S. Marshals? Florida groups there too. Buffalo, New York, Michigan, California. It's bad guys on a platter. Like they said, there's a group of Freemasons caught under police surveillance with the human traffickers. Under police surveillance with a court order. Oh boy, I can't wait to look around. That was the sheriff's department out of this area, and that Karen's will. Well, here's all the human traffickers and drug traders. Where I go up into Akron, we all know her case is a nationwide human trafficking scam. All caught under police surveillance with a quarter laughing in my face. How they can do all these crimes here and no one will stop them. Announcing who they work for, what they're doing here. And laughing that they're not being stopped. You want more? For the case. 1819 007 movie, a lot of tears on my behalf. A lot to cry about. Even into 20 and 21. You want not just the Texas group, you got the Florida group, you got all the other ones. Even what drugs they were bringing in this area. It's bad guys on a platter. And like they said, the way that agent opened the case can't be disputed. It's legal police surveillance with a court order for a threat of life, an attempt to life, for an FBI informant, with statements, and a court order from a judge, for police to tap her phone, bug her car, and surveillance her in her home and other places. And these idiots laughing in my face that they're getting away with these crimes, and these crimes are happening around me. It's bad guys on a platter. Like I said, they said it can't be disputed. You want more bad guys? You want Michelle and her group? You got them, Marshals. Because that's the one that was doing a lot of this here. And that's who had your baby roofied. And they did it on purpose because she was a U.S. Marshals kid. They were breaking that today. They couldn't resist because they were getting even with you guys. And you take care of that little girl. And you keep an eye on her for a long time. Okay? These people behead people. They sever arms and legs. They dismember people. They laughed in my face, they did. Do you understand? They're serial killers. Now law enforcement is finding mass graves like people like that where they were laughing they were doing it. Everybody turn them in. Okay. I was working at this one client, okay, house with 2 clients left. This one girl got a text message her friend got killed in camp. She said this is as bad as when they took my family member and they laughed that they tied her up and cut her up in pieces how she died. Like, it's so funny they raped her. So funny they drugged her and told her to say it. No, it's not. It's not funny they killed her either. I'm like, I'm sorry, people were sick. Showed me a picture. She was a young blonde girl too. I took a deep breath and I said, she lives in Louisville. I said, did you see the big truck guys that were telling everybody they were from Florida? She said, yeah, they were in the bar. I said, they said they were drug traders. She's like, yes, they did. I said, you know, if Henry Moffey sounds about right, he was with him. Showed the picture from Facebook. That's not him, but he is with him. Just like my house manager, Melissa. She was talking about the guy. Oh, and that first person, I said, what did you know about the guy in the white van? She said, how did you know about the white van that took my family member? I have the heart to tell her. But with Melissa, she said, you know the guy in the white van, the tall white guy with black hair is stuttering, that's my kidnapper with her. She said the authorities know he's a tall white man with black hair, Latino descent, working with the other guy, with the big truck guys, and they're drug traders, human trafficking people out of this area. They took my niece on Christmas Day of 2018. Okay? The one guy in Hartville, I pulled over because my car was acting up. Went in the store. Heavy-set white guy with long gray beard. He's like, you know of the human traffickers that were here? I'm like, yes. He said, did you ever see a tall white guy with whitish blonde hair? Thin. He said, all right, so 50 to 60. He said, expensive dress shirt, sleeves rolled up, and dress pants. I'm like, yes. He grabs the chest, you seen him in your life? Yes. He said, you seen him in your life? And I went, yes. You don't know who that is? I'm like, so? Are you okay? I've been around people that make your breath go cold. Just being around them, they're so evil. And I kept saying, are you okay? He said he was a Russian. A lot of his people got arrested selling people out of hotels in Summit County. Like people in Canton, we all see that guy around her. None of this is funny. You may be able in 18 or 19 make sure he wasn't the expensive dress shirt with the needle coming out. Or I'm going back. Thought it was a dream. It was a drug haze. But he knows who that Russian is. He said his men would come in and be rude. And he's Jewish, and he actually understood their dialect when they were trying to... Yeah. He adopted one of the human traffickers' babies. Because where they did the big arrest up there in Summit County also. One of the girls had an 18-month-old baby, and he adopted him. Because that mother's not getting out of jail. I go up into Hartville, Akron. They'd be up there mocking me. So every time I see them, I report them. But if you want them, 18 and 19, if the camera's pouring out, you should even have the plates. It's that bad. If not, Officer John Murphy or one of the guys should even have the plate numbers. You want them? Like they say up in Akron, Karen's Will's still open. We all know it's a nationwide human trafficking scam. The FBI has a case called Countrywide. We're actually a piece of a mega case. And everybody's been acting like damn fools. I was in Alliance the other day. They said, do you realize Karen was part of a real FBI case? Duh. It's still going on. My part can't be closed till they put me in another witness protection program. That's why my fingerprints are sealed. I can't get out of protective custody because these people actually try to kill me. I'm gonna upload this.